Security measures are also in place at the state capitol today as the 87th legislative session begins. DPS troopers are guarding the building in case of any violence. A small group of demonstrators did gather at the building but remained peaceful, saying they don't support what happened in Washington, D.C. last week. The Texas Department of Emergency Management also set up a coronavirus testing area. Everyone entering the state capitol building is required to be tested.
On the inside of the building, both the House and Senate chambers convened at noon today, officially kicking off the session. After taking their oath of office, lawmakers got to work. In the House, members elected Beaumont Republican Dade Phelan as the 76th Speaker, and in the Senate, Granbury Republican Brian Birdwell was selected as President Pro Tem. Birdwell will fill in whenever Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is not available. Constitutionally, lawmakers have a lot on the agenda this year, from the budget to redistricting and pandemic response. Over the next 140 days, you can find the latest from the state capitol at KENS5.com or the KENS5 app.